Hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura, and welcome to the Swingfire review. I'm finally reviewing it. God, help us all. Anyway, so the Swingfire is a Tier 4 AFV. There's a couple other Tier 4 AFVs now too. It is a British armored fighting vehicle that it was in service for quite some time. I think it might actually still be in service in some places. It is not renowned for having an outstanding service record because it's only equipped with missiles. They forgot the gun. That much said, we're going to have a look at it. So, here we have the Swingfire along with the Puma to compare it to. This is patch 0.14, by the way, along with the BMP-1P and the BMD-1. So, factoring in that this thing only has missiles, you can imagine that the heat-firing 73mm guns on these three AFVs are not going to compare to it in alpha damage or penetration. Guess what? Wrong. They compare to it in alpha damage, but not pen. And two of these three do have a missile system, which we will be comparing to the Swingfire's missile system. So, let's start. Swingfire carries 2 missiles per volley, which gives it an automatic edge in the missile category compared to the other AFVs. It has 428 penetration for 290 damage, and it fires them up in an arc that comes down, whereas everyone else fires them straight ahead. The BMD-1, the main weapon, the heat cannon, has 183mm of pen, nowhere near it, but does have a higher alpha. And its missile is straight up better. Higher pen by a lot, and almost 50% more damage, but it only gets 1 missile per shot. Now, armor. It's an AFV made of regular old plain steel. The reload on this thing is 14.48 seconds. But remember, you get 2 shots per load, whereas everyone else gets 1. So it kind of balances out a little bit. And the ATGMs on the BMD-1 take 20 seconds to load. Speed, you're the slowest AFV ever. There are main battle tanks faster than you. Camouflage, though, you've got it going on. And you definitely have the view range just barely. In addition, you have the sitting still view range buffer. And this is with the BMD's view range upgraded. Gun depression doesn't matter. The missiles always fire 45 degrees in the air. Turret traverse doesn't matter because guess what? The turret doesn't actually traverse. It just sits still and fires the missiles. You have to aim the vehicle in the direction you want to fire. Be very careful when doing that. However, your aim time is only 1.5 seconds, whereas everyone else's missile aim time is 2 seconds. And you have... And this guy's is over 2 seconds. But remember, your missiles have a much longer travel time than cannon rounds. So, we've looked at the BMD-1. Let's look at the BMP-1P. Now, your missile is inferior in damage, again, compared to the 73mm cannon. And your individual missiles are definitely significantly inferior to the BMP-1P's single missile. By the way, its single missile does almost as much damage as your 2 missiles. And there's no upgrade. In addition to the fact that it has almost 100mm more pen. Wow. But the BMP-1P also has a 73mm cannon. In straight up combat, the Swingfire will lose. You have less hit points than all of these. You have less armor, even though your armor is basically non-existent. We're going to go over what you do with that, by the way. You are slower, both to accelerate and top speed. You do have better camouflage and can see further. Gun depression doesn't matter. Turret traverse doesn't matter. The turret traverse is literally as fast as you can move the mouse. And the aim time is better on the missile with 1.5 seconds as opposed to 2. You will aim faster, but remember, his cannon round flies a lot faster than your missiles. Next, the Puma. You have better pen. The Puma does not have a missile, but the Puma has a better alpha and a much faster reload. So you get the 2 shots off and then the Puma is going to wreck your face. Puma has a higher DPM. Puma has more hit points. Puma has more armor. Puma is faster. Puma is not as well camouflaged, but can actually outspot you. So, sitting still, the Puma will outspot the Swingfire. Moving, however, the Swingfire wins if the Puma's moving. Just a note. And again, that stuff, the targeting stuff doesn't matter, especially since the Puma doesn't have a missile to speak of. So we've now compared all of that to let you guys know how it stacks up. The Swingfire playstyle is very interesting. It's bush hopping. You go from one bush to the next bush to the next bush to the next bush. You take your time moving between bushes. If you can get a platoon of Swingfires together, it's great, because then you're a missile artillery volley that can annihilate virtually anything with the sheer volume of missiles fired at the same target. But you want to stay at longer range. You want to try to let your enemy poke out a little bit to make sure they're going to be poked out enough for the time it takes your missile to get there. It's a very difficult playstyle to get used to, and it's extremely difficult to master. That much said, Commander, there's only one in my book, Sabrina Washington. Even if you want the missile commander with Rashid, don't do it. Take Sabrina. You'll appreciate the extra view range, the camouflage factor, and the reduced visibility when shooting. Because if you get spotted in this thing, you're probably dead. Crew skill-wise, off-road driving, make it accelerate quicker. Spin it to win it would be the next one. Don't worry about smooth ride or battering ram. You're never going to ram with this vehicle and successfully win. And smooth ride, you're not going to move and shoot. Down here, you want explosive shells as your first one. Then you want rapid fire. You're not going to ever switch ammunition because you only have one type of ammo. It's the base type of ammo. There is no upgrade. See? No upgrade. Ammunition, which means when we go to ammunition here, just load 50 Swingfire ATGMs. Flat out. Shove 50 missiles in it and go. Consumables is the interesting part. I don't carry a fire extinguisher in my Swingfire. I feel that if I'm under attack, most of the time, I'm dead. Swingfire, basically, if you're being shot at, you're dead. So, I went ahead and packed an energy drink in place of a fire extinguisher. If I burn to death, I burn to death. If I get shot at, I'm probably dead anyway. Just a suggestion from my end. It's one of the few vehicles, it's actually the only vehicle we've reviewed so far where we have a change up in the consumables. Retrofits. Reload rate is not going to matter for you. Your reload rate is not going to make any difference. What is going to make a difference is if you can increase your damage and your ability to spot the enemy. So you get 1 universal and 2 firepower. Experimental propellant. Magnetic actuator. Accuracy doesn't matter to you. So magnetic actuator, go for it. You'll find your actual aim time is more like 1.41 instead of 1.5. So you get a little bit better on that, but the extra damage here adds up to be over 13%. Which, since you can mark your targets, you're an AFV, remember, mark your target before you fire, especially if you had to stop to let the missile settle. Go ahead and just start the mark, and the mark will finish about the same time you finish getting the missile ready, and then suddenly your missile does max damage every hit. Which I believe for this one is almost 300 set up this way, so almost 300 damage a pop. That's not bad, especially when you're going to fire 2 of them and then shoot and scoot. So that gives you your retrofits, your commanders, your comparisons against other AFVs. Remember, the Puma will outspot you. I do it all the time in mine. The other AFVs won't. Even the tier 5 AFVs, such as the Fox, are going to have difficulty getting up to your view range and your camouflage factor. As you can see here, you have better camo than all of them, and you have either the same or better camouflage than everyone but the BMP2 at tier 5. So remember, for the most part, you can outspot everyone, and you have the best camouflage. That does not necessarily mean camp, it means move in a unique, aggressive position. Let's go take a look at the gameplay. As you can see, we're here on Roughneck. I'm in a platoon of Swingfires, which is the way you want to run the Swingfire. Get us started here as quick as we can. Don't want to waste you guys' time. They're going to boost right on up here. You guys have heard me talking quite a bit. I like this replay system. I wish we could see the damage and the post-game stats without taking screenshots, but I'm guessing that's something they're going to add later. In the meantime, as you can see, I'm being a little bit aggressive because I think I can be. Remember, you're a stealthy little bugger in this thing. 42 camouflage is outstanding. See, I was trying to mark. You want to mark before you fire if you can. Also, that means that if I get him marked and he still hasn't moved, that the missile will probably get there before he can get out of the way of it. Whereas if I just fire the missile, I'm more likely to miss. Oh, I'm spotting him. There's the mark. And I fire at the starship because the other guy ducked. And now we're moving along here, looking for our way out. These trees, they need to be my new camouflage. And I'm just kind of sitting, looking, spotting, doing my job. LAV 300 is about to get a train full of wreck. I only fired one missile. One, because I thought he would spot me if I fired the second missile, since my camouflage rating would have dropped even more. And two, because I didn't think the second missile would actually get to him. As you can see, we three Swingfires have moved on up here. Spitfire, 2K, and myself. And we're closing up around here. Sneaky Swingfire is best Swingfire. So you kind of have to be aware of where your enemies are, where they're going to be, and then you have to sneak up on them in a way that you can get into a position to engage and keep spotting without being seen. And throw down the smoke because I am suspicious. Because I know I got lit, and Spitfire goes charging in and dies. Yeah, BMP-1P hurts with that cannon. Now I'm spotted. Rounds come flying out. I take a couple hits. Probably a BMD-2. As you can see, this thing accelerates up to its top speed relatively. It keeps accelerating past the 32 kph mark relatively easily, but it's just not very fast to begin with. You're not the super fast maneuverable, and when you get past this thing, you'll be so happy with the Fox. Yeah, the missile literally comes straight down in some cases. The closer you are, the more top-ended the missile is. Bad Sheridan. But this match is far from over. As you can see, the teams are still relatively even, and one of our Swingfires just bit it, and 2K is trying to get out of dodge. I am set up here, ready to receive the oncoming BMD-2 should he try it. And I'm screaming at Shortek to get the hell down. 2K, don't you get yourself killed. Now I fire. 334 damage from each missile. And I dodge his missile. That's right, you got ninja'd. 2K's missiles aren't as powerful as mine because he doesn't have all the retrofits, but there's 300 and... You just took 668 damage from an AFV. That has to suck. Let's just be honest. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to get set up in the ideal situation with the Swingfire. Mid to long range, flinging missiles. There goes one. And I steer it over to go after the WZ. There goes two. The WZ's armor is weak to missiles, by the way, guys. For those who don't know, the WZ's armor is weaker against heat. So if you're having trouble pinning it with Sabo, switch to heat. It's actually weaker against heat. BMP2, he has the warning. He knows it's coming. He has the warning. He knows it's coming. Got him. Okay, he's dead. I don't believe I get this last kill. I think the Fox gets it. Yep, Fox has got him. And that's the end of that particular match. So we fade back to Garage. Now, I do not recommend the Swingfire for PvE. It's simply too hard to play. Because you got to constantly try to stay at longer range. You got to constantly stay away from your enemy. For those who are curious, I did 2,200 damage in this one, and I didn't get the screenshot, and I did 3,900 spotting damage. So that's exactly how you play a Swingfire, folks. You creep up. Creep, creep, creep. Learn to creep. Learn to be a creep. Learn to sneak up on them and leer up like, I see you. Shoot them, please. That's exactly how you do it. Speaking of please, if you in fact like this video, hit the like button, folks. Punch it, slap it, cast fist upon it, and let it know your fury. Please? Shoot it with a missile. So long as it knows you're mad at it. I love you for it. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click on the ad at the end of the video and go check out the sponsor. I appreciate that. They appreciate that. Everyone wins. You might even find something you actually buy. Who knows? Or you can go to the Patreon page. It's right there. I swear, it's right there. It's a little white box. Click on the white magical box. And you can offer to donate $1 to the channel per month. And in doing so, you become a patron, which also makes you a moderator during live streams. Lastly, if you would like to see the previous video, there it is. Armored Warfare, right there. Click on it. It'll take you right to it. You can go have some more entertainment with Fiaura. I also have a lot of other reviews up. If there's a specific tank you want reviewed, comment, 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 comment. Also, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Go ahead. Type it up. Type it up. Want to hear it. Want to hear it. In the meantime, I reply to all my comments, guys, by the way. And if you want to send me a replay, that's what the previous video is about, is how to send me replays of Armored Warfare stuff. Come on, send them to me. I want to see you in Armored Warfare. In the meantime, from my house to yours, this is Fiaura, officially signing out for right now. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!